Hey guys, it's Thunder here and welcome to the brand new series on my channel, the NBA2K17 Milwaukee Bucks MYGM. Yes guys, I have decided to continue to do these NBA2K17 videos in English because I just feel like it makes more sense that way. But now, if my little self here want to go over there, yes, I think we're going there now. Perfect. I want to take you to this Milwaukee Bucks roster. First, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak. Then we have Chris Middleton, Greg Monroe, Jabari Parker, John Henson, Matthew Dellavedova, Musa Teletovic, Michael Carter-Williams, Miles Plumlee's getting too much money, Steve Novak, Thon Maker, our first-round draft pick, Jason Terry, Rashawn Vaughn, Ilan Brogdon, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and then Tyler Ennis. That's our roster. Here you have our rotation. Again, I introduced the Greek Freak before. We also have Michael Carter-Williams. I'm actually thinking about moving Giannis' position to his second position, at least, to point guard. I know he is starting at point guard in real life. Right now, I can't really start him at point guard because we don't really have a small forward outside of him. But I'm thinking about maybe trading either Dellavedova or Michael Carter-Williams later in the season, and then move Giannis to point guard and then trade for a small forward. Thinking about doing that. I'm not sure, but I might do it. But this, by the way, this guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jesus Christ, 2K, why don't you have like an option where a player can play every single position on the floor? Because I think this guy actually can that. Seriously, he can play point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and even center if he wanted to. Like, Jesus Christ, this guy's athletic as all hell. He's good defensively. The only thing this guy doesn't have is a jump shot. Else he has everything. I'm showing off Chris Middleton's stats. You know, a good defender, a really good shooter. I can't really remember, but I think he has like a 93-point shot or something, 95 standing three. And then there is Jabari Parker, who is a really good post player, and he's not the best defensively, but I'm gonna try to improve his defense, and I'm gonna try and improve that mid-range jump shot as well. Jabari, I think I'm good on Jabari Parker. I think he can be a really good player next to Giannis, and I think that pick and pop, pick and roll they're gonna do is gonna be really helpful this season. As you see, I'm still looking at his stats. Now on to Greg Monroe. I don't think I show it here, but he has a huge player option coming up next year. And I don't know if I want to pay him that much money. And I'm not even sure if he's going to re-sign or not in that player option. So I'm actually thinking about trading Greg Monroe for either another center or a small forward, as I said before, to replace Giannis when I move him to point guard, because he's also playing there in real life. So I want to play him at point guard. Here, going back to Giannis, just to show you that this team is going to be built around Giannis, if you haven't already figured it out. We're going to be running up and down the floor a goddamn lot. I want to be a fast break team, and as well, I want to really have a good defense. That's also what I'm going after, because those things we already have something in place for. Good defense. Both Michael Carter-Williams, Matthew Dellavedova, Chris Middleton, and Giannis are excellent defensive players. And both Jabari Parker and Giannis can of course sit up and down the floor like crazy. The same with Michael Carter-Williams. So I'm really gonna try to make this a run up and down the floor team. Jason Terry, I'm also really quickly showing you here, because he's also gonna get a little bit of time to start the season, because we don't really have a shooting guard or a small forward backup. So I kind of need him to maybe play some backup shooting guard. And then Matthew Dellavedova is going to play backup point guard. And Steve Novak, of original position, was power forward, but he's going to play backup small forward. I'm just going to go into a scrimmage now so we can show off the team. So we start this thing off with Matthew Dellavedova, I think, having the ball, passing it off to Steve Novak, who waits a little bit, then kind of gets a screen, and then he screens Rashad Brogdon, and then he hits a tough jumper, a fadeaway jumper, and it goes in. So a solid play to start out with for Rashad Brogdon. I think his name is that. Still, don't count me on it because I'm not sure. Let's see here what Michael Carter-Williams can do as he... Again, I'm not 100% on this playbook. I'm trying to figure out what plays in NBA 2K17 works and who doesn't. As this is a nice drive by Michael Carter-Williams to the rim. And it's a 2-2 game. But as I said before, I'm not really sure on the playbook, but I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. The same goes for sliders. And once again, Matthew Dellavedova dribbling up the ball. He gets a screen. This is one of the 3-point plays I have in the playbook. This time it didn't work probably, but again, the CPU was running it. I'm not sure. Again, I'm trying to figure out a good playbook. Here we see Dellavedova taking a 3-pointer and it goes in! Matthew Dellavedova! Maybe you are worth $10 million a year. That's also going to be interesting. With all these big contracts the Bucks gave out this summer to John Henson, Miles Plumlee, Matthew Dellavedova. They gave up a lot of big contracts. And we have to re-sign the Greek Freak this year. We want to hold on to him. So that's going to be interesting with cap space and stuff. Here we see, I think it's Giannis dribbling the ball. Nice crossover. And then he turns the ball over. That's the thing I really have had problems with in NBA 2K17. Again, I'm not a routine 2K player. I've only played 2K for like half a year. And I only played 2K16 like in the last like 4 months of its life cycle. So I didn't play NBA 2K a lot, but I'm beginning to come into it and I think I'm getting okay at it. Just the thing, I'm playing on All-Star difficulty if you wanted to know, and I just like totally skipped a bucket, but I just wanted to talk about that real quick so you know that I'm not the best, and I'm not the best at talking English. I know that. You don't need to comment on it. I already know I am not the greatest at English. I think I'm okay though, so I think I can still do this series without creating too many language problems. But let's go on with the practice. This clip I think really shows what I want to do this year, as the CPU takes a pretty bad 3-pointer. Michael Carter-Williams gets the rebound, immediately up and running, up to Giannis, and buckets. So that's really what I want to do, especially on fast breaks. I think Giannis is going to be so important because it's seriously nearly unfair that on one end he can grab a rebound, run the floor like really fast, and then go down and score on a contact layup. That should not be allowed. But it is apparently, and here you see the CPU again trying to run a 3-point play, and it actually almost worked because I backed off too much, but luckily it didn't go in. And see here again, I'm trying to push it, get it inside. Unluckily that was Giannis standing in the corner, and the one problem Giannis has right now is he doesn't have a jump shot whatsoever. Actually, the only guy that can really shoot a 3 on this team in the starting lineup at least is Chris Middleton. The rest of the team, at least the starting lineup, can't shoot. Of course, I know Dellavedova can shoot, of course. You just saw that 3-pointer before. What is it with me saying like S words wrong? That's really weird. Okay, by the way, here is another 3-point attempt by the CPU. As I said before, I'm still trying to work with the sliders. That's another thing with my series. I'm always trying to keep it realistic. That's also, I'm not gonna make any stupid trades that wouldn't make sense. Here you see another thing that I'm actually gonna try to do sometimes this year. Get Michael Carter-Williams in the post, because he can score from there. Especially on small point guards like Matthew Dellavedova. So that's also gonna be interesting. But let's move on with the practice. Here you see another great example of this run and gun offense I wanna run sometimes. Here you see a rebound. It gets kicked to Jabari Parker. He runs with it all the way up the floor, kicks it out. Chris Middleton in the corner, buckets. Here you're going to see a pretty interesting sequence here. First, I try to run a play that works sometimes. It doesn't work every time, but it at least works sometimes to get Chris Middleton an open mid-range. This time it didn't work, and then I just threw a stupid pass. Don't ask me why I threw that pass. And then Dellavedova, open triple at the top of the key. I need to find the right word. And it's buckets. So now we're down by 2, and I gotta find out what I'm gonna do here. So I'm gonna call screen with Greg Monroe, which I now have figured out because I'm a little bit further ahead when I'm recording this video, that I need to call those with your boy Parker instead, because that works 10 times better. As when you talk about your boy Parker, he hits a 2-pointer. That should maybe have been a 3-pointer if he had had his foot away from the line, but who cares? It's a 2-pointer and it's a tie game. This play shows perfectly what I mean with Giannis' one problem. You see here, great pass, he has a wide open mid-range, and he misses. That's what I'm talking about. His jump shot is just not there yet. And we really gotta work on that, because if he gets a jump shot, he could be probably one of the top 10 players in the league. As that is another three ball that should maybe have gone in, but didn't. Again, we might need some more 3-point shooting on this team, I don't know. But that's again not really fitting into my style right now. By the way, we're playing to 25 if anybody wants to know. I think this is MCW. And this is another thing with this game. Sometimes the plays take forever. And you see here, this actually took so long that they stopped putting the screens in. Luckily, we got an offensive rebound and a score. So it's 23-22. And as you see here, the CPU coming running up fast. Brogdon inside to John Henson. And that's buckets. So John Henson gives the away team, Bucks Black, the lead. Yes, I'm actually losing to my own bench right now. That shows you how bad I was at 2K to start the year. This recording is like a week old now. And I've played a couple more games that's coming up in the next episode. But right now, let's focus on Rashad Brogdon missing a wide open layup. Or a contact layup, sorry. Here's Miroslav Teletovic handling the ball. Don't know why, as the CPU. And I think they're trying to run a play, and it broke down again. But somehow Steve Novak is open, and that's the game winner. I lost to my own bench. That's how bad I was at this game to start out with. I was so terrible. I have gotten a bit better, and you're gonna see that in the next 2-3 episodes. But for right now, let's take a look at our endgame stats, as Giannis put up 8 points. And 3 rebounds, and Michael Williams had 5 assists with 6 points. That's the numbers that are gonna keep you on the team, because we're gonna, at least it has a high chance of trading either you or Dellavedova for a small forward who can actually play small forward. Rather, who can replace Giannis so he can play point guard. Of course, the guy who wins that battle is going to come off the bench. But I don't have much time left, so that's going to be the first episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon again.